building successful Gamify projects.
So I know there's loads of projects that are wanting to launch their new projects. So what does it take? Let's introduce again Ting Peng, CMO at Cross the Ages, who will be moderating. Dr. Kim again. No, it's not. Sorry, Sami, co-founder of Cross the Ages, and Barbod Masoumi, CEO of Bitbod.
Morning, Christopher.
Morning.
Sami.
Good morning.
Morning. So we had a great conversation about the metaverse interoperability in our last panel, and here we have the founder of Cross Stages, co-founders of Cross Stages, and we're going to talk about the Gamify, how to build a successful Gamify project. And perhaps we can start with introducing yourself to our audience here, what you're building at Cross Stages, and what's your background, Sami?
Hello, everyone. Super happy to be here. So my name is Sami. I'm a producer of video game. I started this experience with my co-founder Christophe here, Richard over there, 18 months ago. My job used to create a video game for more than 1 decade on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Steam. We made a lot of success gaming, with more than 1 million downloads before starting the experience of Cross the Ages. We spent a long time to try to create something totally new where we're gonna be able to touch everyone. This project is something very different than the usual project that we took so much time to build this world. We hire writers, we took artists, to create the experience of Cross the Ages. So yes, this is who am I, and I will let Christophe introduce himself.
Yeah, hi everyone. So at first I'm an investor in the blockchain space. I launched in 2017, one of the first European blockchain VC based in Luxembourg. Another vehicle here as kind of a little family office where we invest just to blockchain technology. We are completely dedicated to blockchain, and so it's the first time I'm taking an entrepreneurship in blockchain. I never took any advisory as well until I met Sami here 18 months ago, and so we had this great idea to build this game. So yeah, here is a little bit of my background.
Hi everyone, I'm Barbod Masoumi. I'm CEO at Bitbod. And what we do in Bitbod, we educate Iranian people in Iran, and I'm Iranian. And about 12 million Iranians in Iran know about crypto, and they're participating in the crypto space. And we try to attract more than 1 million of them, and we build communities. That's what we do. We educate and we build communities. And that's what we do on Bitbod.
Great. Thank you for being here. Probably I'll start my first question towards Christophe. So you've been investors in the crypto space for quite a long time, and I don't know how many of the present audience here understands what Gamify project means. So maybe you could give us a little bit background of how do you specify of what Gamify is.
Well, actually, Sami will be better than me to explain that. As an investor, I have a vision of companies that is completely different. I'm not completely agnostic in the companies I'm investing in, because back then, if you focus on one topic, well, you're gonna invest like in one company every 2 years because you didn't have that much good blockchain companies to invest in. So it's just a part of opportunity for me, and what I see in entrepreneurs. And about the market share. This is quite new for me because I'm a little gamer, right? But I'm not a hardcore gamer. I don't think I am a geek, and so for me, gaming is great, but it wasn't really my expertise at first. And actually, this is not my gaming experience that I brought in across the ages. It's more about all the blockchain bricks and stuff like this. But definitely, yeah, there is something moving here around gaming. We can see also the major companies, like the major publisher, like Ubisoft, Electronic Arts, starting to look into it, starting to invest in the space, and getting a lot of education around that. And I don't even think that they thought that it will move that fast. I'm pretty sure they thought that they still have 5 years in front of them before you have some little company like ours taking a big market share at some point. At least, not a market share because we're not live yet, but at least with the community we have built so far. And just because, like I said yesterday, it's not a blockchain game, it's a game using blockchain technology, and this is what makes the whole difference because of the background of Sami, because of his expertise and the fact that he's doing this for the last 10 years. And in addition of that, well, he's also a collector of cards like Magic, Pokemon, and so it made a lot of sense to try to do something. But this is what I think is completely new in the space, is that he is getting very professionalized now. And it's not just opportunistic companies, and I'm not talking about CTA, I'm talking about any other games. Now people have a real expertise on what they are doing and what they want to achieve here.
I think, like we discussed yesterday as well, we're looking at some of these major gaming companies are moving into integrating the blockchain and bring the play-to-earn business model to it. And I think if you look at the word Gamify itself, if you break it down into two parts, and it's actually the game, the word of game, plus FI, I think it means finance. So it's actually giving the opportunities for the players, like we discussed yesterday, the opportunity to earn and to monetize of their time and etc. So perhaps, Sami, you could tell us more about the game that you're building at Cross Stages. What kind of business model is there for innovation, and you are also a geek in gaming, and perhaps you can give us a little bit more information of what this game is all about.
Yes, definitely. So first of all, as Christophe and Ting was saying, I'm a super geek. So I love the collectible card. I start collectible card when I was 9, starting with Magic the Gathering. I continue with Pokemon and like World of Warcraft and Eternal and like all the kind of game. So this is my background on the card gaming. And we've seen, on the experience of the gaming that there are several projects coming in crypto space, but everything is about speculation. And people coming, into the project just to flip, just to make more money, but just never for the game himself. And this is exactly, the difference with Cross the Ages. We spend time just to build a community. We have already 400,000 people following us, and we expect to have more than 1 million before the launch of the game. How and why we're doing that? We expect that the future of the gaming is something and somewhere where people will find themselves, where people will be able, to enjoy, to have fun and play, to spend time into the game, to have rewards, and to give like something for the time that you're gonna give you for the game. Imagine that it used to be like that, in the past, where people spending time into the game and having absolutely nothing. The experience was just some pleasure, spending time. Now, with the NFT and the blockchain and with Cross the Ages, you can be able to play to a game and play and earn. That means the time you will spend, you will have something back. And this is exactly how we build the economy of the game, to answer to the question of Ting. And we do that just to push people to stay into the game and to having the best experience. However, usually, on the gaming, you always have a gaming aspect. For Cross the Ages, we build a world with novels, we created 7 novels with 13 writers. We have a book so insane. Everything is online. It's free, on the website. You can check it in 6 languages: French, English, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, and you can discover the lore of the games, the story behind. The story is so deep that when you start, to understand what is Cross the Ages, you definitely want to go more deep, on the story. And this is exactly what we want to build, a community where everyone will be able to have a part and to saying something, putting the player on the middle of the story. This is Cross the Ages.
And my next question goes to our Barbod, right? And you're mentioning that in Iran, there's a lot of people already involved in the interested in blockchain and cryptocurrency, and perhaps in the education. You're doing a project in the education, and how would you, educate those people who are in the crypto space, who are interested in crypto space in your region? What kind of entry point that you're educating them? Would you say gaming would be the tipping point for blockchain, or would you say that something else that you're doing to educate this group of communities?
In Iran, when we are going to educate people, we start with the simplest things. First, we need to attract them, make them interested. This is the first part. They usually become interested when they see money is going into something. All people around the world came to the projects, came to the crypto space and everything because of the bubbles. So we are here because we saw the bubbles, we were attracted. So that's exactly how the Iranians come into crypto. Then we start with the simplest task, like how to install Trust Wallet, how to use exchanges, how to use anything. And then when they improve, we do many things, like how to use DeFi projects, how to borrow money from decentralized platforms, how to lend money, how to use Gamify projects to play and earn. And I'm not into playing games, but I have a team that educate them every day. So with education, we build our community. And when you want to build a community, community builds community. It's not advertising is good and everything is good, but if you want to grow your community, you should use your community. So for me to grow my community, I educate them. For example, I describe this opportunity. This Gamify thing can change your life, can change your children's life. Then they are interested, they come into the space. Then we tell them, okay, now you're here. If you tell your friends about us, if you attract more people, I'm going to give you education. Rewards by rewards, small by small, we grow them and we make them attracted into the space. And we are educating them the simplest way. They are not thinking the way you are thinking right now.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I want to jump on this. I think it's very interesting for the emerging market, like you said, education, and I believe that we are seeing this for the last maybe 5, 6, 7 years, saying with this you can create value wherever you are because of the blockchain, thanks to the blockchain in the ecosystem, and now we really see the result of that, because when we were saying this 5 years ago, no one understood, and games make it even easier because you're supposed to have fun and making money with it, right? And now we can experience some kids, they have 13, 14 years old, they're making more money than their own parents by trading NFT cards or doing DeFi, and they're learning more, I think, the financial mechanism more than in school. And this is completely insane.
So, yes, I agree. I definitely agree. And how do you build a successful Gamify project? I think you probably need to integrating all these kind of elements together. You have the education, you have the communities, and then you have a game that is fun to play for attracting more people in this space. And for you, Sami, what do you think? What are the other elements that we can look into how to build a successful project?
So first of all, I totally agree with my partner here to say that we have like to educate people. We have like to explain how it's gonna work. The Web 3.0 is something new for everyone. You know that when you have the Web 2.0, everyone like has like the way to play, and asking to someone to do something new is always complicated. You can't ask to someone to change his behavior and to ask him, you have to do that now, you have to get a MetaMask, you have to do all this new thing. To create the success, as you just say, first of all, you need to have a fun to play. The fun to play is the key of the success, is a pillar. This need to be the sense, you know, the common sense on the game, fun to play. After that, it has to be free. The game has to be a real free to play without any barrier. You can't say to someone it's a free to play, but you have to spend 1,000. It makes no sense, you know. And after that, the last experience, it's having, you know, the play and earn, and not play to earn. This is a big difference. Everyone is saying, yes, it's a new game, it's a play to earn. It's not, across the ages, it's not to play to earn, it's play and earn. And just this simple word changed absolutely everything about the perspective of the game himself. You have to understand that this kind of game are changing the faces of all the gaming industry. This thing is happening now. This is exactly, you know, the same way that when we seen internet coming 20 years ago. This is exactly happening the same way. So we have to be carefully on that, and we're gonna see a lot of things changing on this next year coming. And yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So
You indicate a lot on the word fun to play, fun. And, you know, I'm curious, because the game, Cross Stages game is not launched yet, but it's about to launch pretty soon. Can you give us a little, you know, pick snip of how fun it could be as a gamer's perspective?
Sure. So when you know a little bit about the card gaming, you need to create something where everyone will find themselves on the game. That means every match have to be maximum 5 minutes. You have to create a combination that everyone will be happy to play and create a different experience. Imagine that I take someone, you know, and I play with him. We have our card, you have your card, you have exactly the same card, but we're gonna play 20 times, me against you, you know, for 20 times. Every time it's gonna be different. Why? Because we created something, you know, in the game that will allow us to have every time a new match, every time a new experience. This will allow you to don't have something boring. The problem is like you have many experience on the crypto today where you have to play to make money. It's not a game anymore, it's a job.
Well, you know, you're a gamer yourself since you were 9. And what kind of games that you played that was really fun and that you draw inspiration from it, and integrating those kind of fun elements into Cross Stages?
You know, I don't want to say that because people will say, you know, this is an old sentence, you know, it was better before, you know, when you used to game to retro game, and it wasn't, you know, the same sense, you know, on the game himself. And now, you know, it's always going higher, you know, on the graphic, growing higher, you know, on the storyline. But the thing is, it's more and more complicated, you know, to keep people, because people don't care, and it's too much. So we have to go back to basics and created something where everyone will say, oh, wow, this is a real game where I want to play and I used to play. And if you think about it, you know, and you ask to everyone, what is the best game you used to play or you haven't played, or you will see it's not the last game, you know, it's a game that they used to play when they was kid or something, you know, give them memories and give them some fun. And this is exactly how we build Cross the Ages. We spent time and we made many prototypes to find something, to find a concept, a very high concept where everyone will say, okay, I understand what is this kind of game. And we have something very unique on this game. Imagine that you will be owner of NFT. However, you can transform your NFT to NFC, physical card, and bring them back, to reality. This is exactly the opposite shame that we've seen, Imagine that everything we have today on the metaverse, you take something and you put it on the metaverse. Now we do the opposite. You're gonna create your collection of cards across the ages and get them back, on the real, and have the physical asset, the physical card with you. And this is absolutely unique concept with NFC inside. So this makes something very original, on the game himself.
Can I interrupt? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I have a question from you. Do you have any plan to use the NFTs as collateral to borrow money from DeFi platforms? Put your NFTs as collateral, then you will borrow money from the DeFi platforms. Have you planned about that one?
I think, okay.
This is not planned now, but players will be able to lend their cards inside the game. And so if you don't have the time to build your collection into the game, you will be able to lend cards to other players, but it stopped there for now. What you ask is not planned.
For now, you are able to lend your card, to borrow them, so you are owner of the NFT and you don't have time to play. You can put them, on rent and rent it for the day, for the week, for the month, and this will create an economy. Usually when you used to play to a game and you stop playing, you have nothing. Now you can come back and...
imagine someone putting so much effort and time into your game, then he have some assets like NFTs, clothes, skins, and everything.
Yeah.
And how can he use it in real life? I was thinking if we combine, with the DeFi projects, then he can do something in real life. For example, imagine I can trade my NFTs in your game. I have a skin, you want a skin, I'm selling it to you. But I can give my skin on, for example, MakerDAO platform in future, then they will borrow me money. Then I have that money to use it in real life, then I can buy a car with it, in real life. And I was thinking that you've planned this or not. Now I understand.
We plan something, for
because
the next year.
DeFi 2 is coming fast.
You're absolutely right.
And you should be on the trend.
The NFT you get, is not only for the card gaming. We plan, to use that for a metaverse that we're gonna build and we are building now. So everything you will get, skin, card, equipment, weapon, everything you're gonna use it in real.
In real.
Yeah. This is exactly what we planned from the beginning. But we need to start with the card gaming because it's accessible for everyone and you need to give to delivery. It's nice to make promise to the people, but better to deliver, step by step.
Yeah. It's really hard to do.
Thank you so much for your time, for the discussion. And we have 2 minutes left and we are gonna look for 1 or 2 questions from our audience. We have 2 gentlemen here. Please, go ahead. Can we get a mic? Thanks.
Hello. My question is to Sami. So I was just reading your white paper and you have something called...
Sorry, we can't hear you that well. Please.
So I was reading your white paper and you have something called as crystals, which are necessarily tokens inside the game, right? So the users play the game, earn tokens. How do we actually convert that to a fiat money? Is it a possibility?
Well, it will be possible because CTA token will be listed publicly.
So do you have plans to list it at some point of the time?
CTA token will be listed, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, our next question.
Any advice on which type of blockchain networks you'd recommend new GameFi projects sort of look at? There's lots of discussion between sort of different blockchain networks, and I'd be interested to see what was your sort of thinking through how to choose a blockchain network. Are you going to use your own? Are you going to leverage an open network? And what's the rationale behind that?
Did you get the question? Which I think I can answer that. So it's building on Polygon. So we are choosing Polygon to build our project at the moment. And I guess Sami can take it from here. Why do we choose Polygon?
There are many reasons, you know. We have like possibility to build on many network. However, Polygon assists us 24 hour on 24, give us assistance and give us the way to create the game with a gas fee will be super cheap. On Cross the Ages, mint a card will cost $1. Where, you know, on the traditional gaming using Ethereum, for example, is around $100 to $180, and this makes no sense. This is the barrier, you know, of gaming. If you want to create a massive adoption, you need to create a game where the access will be super cheap, a real Gamify experience with a real price of gaming on the game himself and on, you know, the process of minting. It's why Polygon, you know, it's one of our partner.
Yeah, perhaps just sum up with 2 points why Polygon is the better choice for us compared with Ethereum. It's much cheaper, and second is it's agile, so it allows you to build something on top of it or around it for interoperability in the future. So the you know technical perspective, that is more agile for projects to build around it. So that's why we choose Polygon. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll give the stage
Sorry,
to
no,
the next.
One
Yeah.
more question. Is
Okay.
that okay? Yeah. Sorry. This question for Barbod. So, as a community lead, like Uplift has a huge community, global community, right? But I know that you've garnered a huge community yourself, like alone. So, could you tell us how many people are in your community and how you've done it? And gaming, the biggest thing I think from what Sami is saying as well, you really want to involve the community, and the community are going to be a fundamental part of like deciding where the story goes, and you want them to be involved. Otherwise, like Dr. Kim said earlier, you're just creating an empty world, right? An empty space. So how do you engage them? How do you recommend sort of utilizing the community for Gamify projects?
For community, the first questions, we have almost 300,000 people on Telegram, more than 900,000 people on Instagram. And the way I managed to build my community was, you know, we are all here because of shared belief. We think the Gamify is the future of gaming. We think decentralization is the next step or something. Belief take people together. So we needed to find a belief and a mutual problem in Iran, which was sanctions. So for sanctions, I try to gather community and tell them, okay, guys, we are in decentralized world and we can make money here together. And we were able to say many opportunities to them, like we were the first one who introduced Shiba in Iran. People gained a lot of money out of that. And we were able to take any airdrop, Uniswap airdrop, DYDX airdrop, ENS airdrop, and people took money, and they thought, okay, this Bitbod guy is an opportunity catcher. So they came together. Then what I used to make them bigger was education. I gave them education, they got points, they made the community bigger. That was my trick. But the most important thing that I think no one thinks about is enemy. You know, one of the big things that can make the communities bigger is having an enemy. If it's real or it's virtual, it doesn't matter. You know, enemy can be an idea, enemy can be a problem, enemy can be anything. So it can be a habit, you know. We build culture and we build enemies, and it's more effective to have positive impact on your community if you build some enemies. For example, negative habits and bad habits are your enemy. For example, imagine when vegetarians are in a community and the minimalists are in a community, these people want to be confirmed, and because they have same point of view, and they want to have an enemy. If you focus on that enemy part, it will make the community stronger. They will make them to have more impact. So we made a lot of enemies, virtual, real, everything. So that's why they're growing. And for Gamify projects in Iran, it's good. Why? Because salary of an Iranian, normal Iranian, is $200 per month. And if they spend their time and energy in Gamify projects, they can gain more. So why not? They will try to use the Gamify projects, and it's really good for them, really. It can make them to gain more money, and it can make their economic situations better. Thank you.